get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I'm drinking on some rum and coke tonight, and I hope you guys are being safe, man. I hope you guys had a great week so far. I know some of you guys probably have plans this weekend, so hope you all be safe this weekend and everything and everything like that. So let's go get into it. There's a couple of things that I just want to talk about. First and foremost, congratulations to those who were drafted to the WNBA draft. Um, Pretty much went as expected, but of course, controversy took place. What is the controversy? I'm glad you asked. Well, here's the controversy. It was revealed, uh, particularly with Caitlin Clark, who was the number one overall pick, um, what her rookie contract salary would be. Okay, so it's pretty much 4 years, $338,000 dollars, over the course of 4 years. And you got some people who was upset about that. Okay. They think that she should be making more, which you know, people don't disagree with that, right? They don't disagree that WNBA players should be making more. I think the problem is the only thing they see is the contract and not the business of basketball. And it's hard to pay somebody that amount of money when the league itself doesn't make that amount of money. And not only that, uh, they play half of the games that the NBA plays. All right. So, obviously, you've seen some people on social media, some major news outlets who were discussing this, and this is an ongoing discussion, right? But nobody, it seems like nobody wants to state the obvious when it comes to WNBA versus NBA. First off, the NBA has been around over, was it there's 75 years. So just like their 76 season, 77 season. So they've been around, at least 75 years. The WNBA came in the mid 90s, so they only been here. They're going on what 28th season, I want to say, because if I remember, they started in '96, which was a huge deal, and they are. So yeah, that's about right. Yeah, 28th season. Um, they've been in existence for almost 30 years. The problem with that is if you equate that to NBA seasons, it's more like 14 seasons, full NBA seasons, because they only play 40 games in the season. Of course, they're during the summertime. What do you have going on in the summertime in terms of sports? You have baseball, which is going on. NBA Summer League, which draws in a lot of attention. Um, what else do they have going on during the summertime? This year's the Olympics, so I'm not gonna count the Olympics because we all watch the Olympics and things like that. Obviously, track and field is the main attraction when it comes to the Olympics. So uh, you have the Olympics that's going on, but the to me, all right, to me, the problem with the WNBA is I don't think they're actually looking at what the women's college game has done. Not in terms of money, because what they got is NIL deals. I mean, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, um, just two examples, have already they probably already made more before they got to the WNBA than the salaries they're gonna get over the next 4 years, right? And obviously they get paid more overseas, but they don't want to go overseas. They want to stay home, and which I understand. Here's the thing: people talking about the NBA needs to do a better job with the WNBA. They got people in place in the WNBA that's supposed to that run that league uh, successfully. And the problem is that when you look at all the teams that they used to have, you know, they lost teams. They're not getting new teams, right? So in order for the league to grow, you got to get new teams. You got to get viewership. You got to get. Let's just be honest. You got to get women to attend these games. You got to get women to constantly talk about these games, these players and everything like that, because you see it um, on the men's side. When you talking about this past season, right, college basketball, right? Nobody really talked about the men's game. It was all about the women's game. And it's unfortunate that you're seeing what they're doing on this level, but you don't want to incorporate to the next level. All right. Now we could get past about what some of the veterans and the legends, the Hall of Famers have said about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese coming in to the WNBA. All rookies going to have an adjustment on in any league. You're just not going to come in and think you're just going to dominate because you did it on that level. No, I mean it's an adjustment period. Okay, so that's obvious. Okay, they will be fine. But I think what the league has to do is continue to talk about the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reese, build up these matchups, so fans can come around and see it. So, and that's the thing about it, you got to sell tickets, you got to sell merchandise, you gotta make the networks come and watch you, right? These networks, they could put whatever they want to on their networks, right? When we look at the NBA, they have TNT, ESPN, and I'm gonna say everything, ESPN, ABC, same company, but you have that. Obviously, you have NBA TV, which they show a lot of games, and they show games, WNBA games too on NBA TV. Where often do you see a WNBA game, right? You'll see them on ESPN, um, but it doesn't attract the same buzz as say like one of these matchups in the NBA. When you look at baseball, obviously they're seems like they're everywhere. Baseball is football. You got your Fox, you got your CBS, you have NBC. So you have those networks who are paying for football. Um, so it's the league right now. I think this is their moment to say, okay, now we got these stars in the league that has been making the buzz over the last 2 years. So let's continue to carry this torch into this league. And I know a lot of people uh, comment on Diana Taurasi about her take on Caitlin Clark. Cheryl Swoops, legend Hall of Famer, her take on Caitlin Clark. What they're saying is not bad. I think it's good because they're keeping that train going. They talking about these younger players, and now they're on platforms to talk about these players coming into the league. So now, in a way, they kind of like in a way marketing the NBA, the WNBA too, by saying, you know, we don't think she's gonna be that good coming out and everything. In a way, they're probably gonna, prove people right so people could tune in and watch the game and everything like that. So to me, I think this is a good strategy by, these women. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's a good strategy by, when it comes to these women to continue to put Caitlin Clark's name out there, to continue to put Angel Reese's name out there. Um, of course, they got talent. I mean, this draft class was very, very talented. And not only that, use this as like the first step and say, okay, we can grow, we could grow this plant and see where this takes us. And therefore, we don't have to complain about the money because now we're starting seeing all these dollars coming in because of this. You know, if the company makes money, the the people should also make money, right? That's how it's supposed to be. We know how corporate America is, but when it comes to sports, the more the revenue that's generated for a sport, that means the players can make more money because there's more money out there. Okay, so that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. And I don't and I wish a lot of people would understand when it comes to sports. It's really hard to pay players when the league itself is losing money, right? The league itself has been losing money pretty much since its existence, right? I mean, I think when they first started out, I think they were on NBC, and I know they've been on plenty of networks since then. Um, they on ESPN. I know they do their All-Star game on ABC, which I remember. I don't know if they did it last year, but I remember they had an All-Star game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. I think they did everything on one day, if I'm not mistaken. Did everything on one day, which was to me stupid. But as long as these players continue to speak out and continue to keep that uh, WNBA name in the brains of um, just a casual fan, then yeah. And here's the thing: don't blame men for not supporting. It's the women that's not supporting the league. The men support the league. The NBA itself is supporting the league. Its players are supporting the league. Men are supporting the league. Because you got a lot of men who has daughters. They look at this as a moment to where they could take them to a WNBA game, have that father daughter bond going on, and also enjoy great talent on the court. But it's the women. The women has to step up and support the women's league. If they don't get that type of support, then that's it. And here's the thing: when you hear a lot of suggestions about the WNBA lowering the rim so they can dunk and all of that, I said the proof is in the pudding. In women's college basketball, they weren't doing all of that. It was just a great game, an exciting game to see. Would it be good to have it? Absolutely, absolutely. But the women's college game has proven you don't need to lower the rims to get eyeballs to watch women play. That's all I'm saying. So, um, by the end of the day, when you look at the pay, you got to look at the business of the league. That's what it comes down to. And you got to think the NBA is still supporting the WNBA. Without the NBA, the WNBA will be non-existent. I mean, there's not enough money to go around. You can't really, to operate the league. You're losing money, so they get what they can get. I understand some players were talking about percentages and all that. Even if you want more percentage of the pie, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So the WNBA needs this. This is the time right now. You got your star players. Not saying that the players before them weren't stars, but now more so than ever, you got a draft class who has this huge buzz coming in, right? WNBA, this is your time. Don't mess this up. Because if you mess this up, it's like, okay, maybe there needs to be some changes all across the board in the WNBA. So if you want to increase player salary, continue to push Caitlin Clark, Angela Reese, have these veterans continue to talk about these young players, go at these young players so they could get the eyeballs to watch their games. Jersey sales needs to come up, ticket sales needs to come up. Get these media companies to say, hey, we want to start putting y'all games on our networks. Boom. Now you got this revenue coming in, add more teams, more talent to the league, more money. Everybody is happy. And not only that, but I gotta say something about SNL. I don't know what's going on last 2 years. I don't know what it is. Iowa has lost the national championship game 2 years in a row. And yet you got First Lady Biden that want the losers to come to the White House, which has never been a tradition. Always the winners come. And then you got SNL who invited Iowa, the whole team, on the SNL. I'm like, who in the hell is running this stuff? You need somebody with some sense. South Carolina should have been on there. They're the champions. They should have been the ones, you know, getting all the glory. I've never seen a losing team get so much glory in my life. And I know probably y'all got a lot to say about this too. I've never seen a losing team get so much glory in my entire life. And the mindset is stupid. Ain't no participation trophies. The great Ricky Bobby said it best. Okay. He said, if you're not first, you're last. That's one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard in my life. If you're not first, you're last. So I don't know why I was getting all this love. Yeah, you might. Shoot, Butler didn't get this much love. They went to back-to-back national championships, and they didn't get as much love that I was getting. So we obviously probably know what that is, right? Y'all make that decision yourself. I'm just saying y'all can make that decision yourself. Um, Sticking with basketball, uh, somewhat related to it. Steph Curry. Steph Curry, trying to make this transition smooth. Steph Curry is one of the executive producers of the Netflix remake of Good Times, the animated series, right? You have Norman Lear and I forgot who else was on there. It doesn't matter. Okay. Got to talk about this. The Good Times. Was it a remake? I guess you could call it a remake. It was definitely a remake, and the remake is definitely trash. Okay, I watched a total of about 5 minutes, and I turned it right off. I said, "This is trash." And I don't know whose idea to. I get it. You want to bring good times into modern times, but the way they did it was so terrible. I looked at it. First off, I should have known from the poster, right? The show poster that they posted on social media. I should have known that this was going to be trash. And the fact that you have Steph Curry's name behind it, somebody, I don't know if he really actually went through the process and looked at the show, was like, no, we can't put this out there, or he was just a silent partner who just invested his money. I don't know. But what I do know is this: that show was straight trash. Why did, I don't understand it. Why would you do something like that? Like, I get into it, first 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm turning it off. I can't even do it, man. It was hideous. It was hideous, man. And Netflix should just go ahead and just pull the entire show. And when you have some of the original cast members of Good Times, from my understanding, they actually pitched this idea before and they got turned down. So maybe they wanted to do something better with it. Do an animated series, something better with it. But the issue is that, I mean, from a fan standpoint, if you love classic TV shows and your parents grew up on it and you were exposed to it and you like it as well, you see something like this, it's like, come on, man. In a way, it's kind of like you're mocking the classic in a sense. Yeah, I mean, this is what it looks like to me. And to have the people behind this, who else was behind this? Was Seth Green behind this too? I think he was. Um, to have the people behind this that put this project together, I think it was just terrible. And I don't understand, like, certain shows shouldn't be even touched. Good Times. You have Good Times, like you do Sanford the Son, the Jeffersons. Um, I mean, who else? The Cosby Show, A Different World, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What other classic TV shows? Um, even like All in the Family, uh, Married with Children. Certain shows shouldn't even be touched again, right? It's it's great how it is. And then you got people that want to bring it back to life. It's kind of like, no, that's okay. You should have just left it alone. This is what this should have been. They should have left it alone. All right. It's kind of like when LeBron James wants to do Space Jam and House Party. It's kind of like, dude, you should have left it alone. You know, Classics, don't touch them. But some people, they want to touch the classics and it don't come out the way you think you want it to. Like when they did, was it Hulu did White Man Can't Jump? Like, why would you touch a classic like White Man Can't Jump? Like, why? Why would you do that? I'm not understanding. Not understanding anything. Why would you want to touch a classic like that? You could have done any other movie but that. So the Netflix show Good Times, in a nutshell, is trash. And I think they should just pull it off of Netflix because it is not good whatsoever, man. I'm not even gonna give it a chance to watch it through. I think it's just, you got one chance to catch my attention. After that, no more. So pull it off of Netflix. Just pull it off of Netflix, man. Pull it off of Netflix and just throw it in the trash. That would be something I would advise them to do. All right, y'all, man. Listen, I thank you guys for tuning in with me tonight. Drinking After Dark podcast, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Also, too, man, y'all can catch the episodes on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Check it out, man. Tell your friends and family about it. If y'all have any suggestions of what I should try, let me know. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna try to find that Crown Royal Blackberry. They had it in my hometown. As soon as I got it, it disappeared quickly. So hopefully I can get my hands on one and try it out. So we'll see how that goes. But if y'all have any suggestions, man, y'all let me know and I'll try it out. Any topics y'all want me to talk about, also comment below, man. We'll talk about those topics. But until next time, man, y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. Until next time, I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast. We out. Peace.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that my kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family make sure that the bills is paid, and then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Uh-huh.